4 guys in their 20s, 2 in their 30s. 1.1 million goes to our winner tonight.
Antes of 5,000. Blinds will start at 30 and 60,000. Cards have been dealt. Let's go down to John, the Razor fan's hand. 10 deuce. He won't play that.
Well, we saw him at the final table last week. He's back.
Zack Clark, nephew of the great poker player Chip Reese, also folding.
Kyle Wilson going out.
And Mikey Nguyen not going to play.
Just the 2 of us, Paul.
So battle of the blinds here early on.
We've done this before, haven't we?
A few times.
That's around to Amit Makhija. This guy is a true online poker legend already in his young career. Won tons of money.
150.
There's great respect from everybody in the online world. And here he's betting 150,000.
He's also the chip leader with about 3.1 million. Now Paul Smith is a part-time lawyer. He's got Jack 10.
Yeah, 38 years old, the oldest guy at the table. Plays poker part-time and is a lawyer part-time.
What is he thinking here, Mike? He's
No,
taking a lot of time.
He's thinking Amit is the chip leader. Knows he's an aggressive player. Maybe just trying to bull him around. He's not going to have it, Vince. He goes over the top with a Jack 10.
Nice hand, Paul.
Unbelievable on the first deal of the tournament to commit all your chips with Jack high.
Very aggressive. Paul Smith,
Wow.
part-time lawyer, winning his first case here at the Bicycle Casino.
I'll tell you, Vince, he slammed the gavel down on that hand, and his wife, Lorene, very happy to see her husband make that play.
All right, right back at him.
Good choice, John.
Next hand, Mikey Nguyen quickly folding. Amit Makhija, the chip leader, also going out.
Back on Paul. This time he looks at an ace-3, going to lay it down.
Into the Razor, John Phan. Okay, he's picked up a real hand, a solid pair of 9s.
He's on the button, in position, up against the 2 blinds. You're going to like this hand.
Here we go.
160.
He's going to raise it, makes it 160,000 to go.
Yeah, it's going to put some pressure on the nephew of the great poker player, Chip Reese. This is a very young 23-year-old Zack Clark, and he's got ace-jack offsuit.
Well, Vince, it looks like he's getting out some raising chips. Perhaps he thinks John is just making a button raise, as we say, trying to steal the blinds and antes. He's not going to have it. He's coming right over the top of him. Raises it 400,000 more, makes it 560,000 to go. And incredibly, in the big blind, Kyle Wilson from Canada, 25-year-old, father of 4, looks down at 2 kings.
Just amazing. All right, in the blue shirt is Greg Mueller, WPT finalist, friend of Kyle Wilson's. Also from Canada, of course.
Come on.
Whoa.
Well, Kyle is going all in here. You can't blame him for that. Somebody's got 2 aces. Good luck to him. Kyle's got about $1 million in chips. He's moved all in. Action now back on John. Vince, he raised on the button. The small blind raised it to 560,000. The big blind moved all in for $1 million. Folks, if you know nothing else about John the Razor fan, other than what a tough poker player is, understand that he's very deliberate in making decisions at the poker table. One of the slowest players on tour.
Well, he does take his time. Now, last week we saw him get some bad beats, and he wore about 9 of his bracelets on his arm. Tonight he's going with 1. Maybe to change his luck.
Well, Vince, it's kind of hand against one player you might consider calling for sure, but against 2 opponents,
I need like 3 more glasses of drink.
one of them figures to have this hand beat.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty routine drop. John the Razor. Very entertaining player at the table.
I'm just so happy all the time. I'm winning or losing.
I don't know what the heck he really said, but I think he's going to fold.
Well, action's back on Zack, and he's virtually pot committed in my mind. There's 1.7 million out there. Going to cost him another 435,000 to make the call.
435.
Yeah, he was just pushing because he thought Phan might be stealing, and now he's in a predicament here.
Well, the only hand he's mathematically not getting the right price if his opponent has specifically 2 aces.
I call.
That's not the case. He's got 2 kings. Zack does make the call. He's the underdog.
Well, he was pot committed, but right now he's in the thick of it. Took a shot, but he's up against a monster. Pair of kings.
30% though.
Maybe he doesn't pick up a hand.
We are seeing some fireworks now here at the Legends of Poker. Kyle Wilson, quite a basketball player. In fact, he was offered a professional basketball contract in Europe.
The ace always comes here.
Right now, he's driving for a quick layup, Vince, to double up here at this final table.
You'd love to do it with this quality hand.
Huge pot here. Well over $2.5 million in this pot. Here comes the flop. An ace comes right on the flop. You see the disappointed look in Kyle's face. It says it all. Unbelievable. He's now got to catch a king or 2 running diamonds to make a flush. Otherwise, Kyle's going to be out of here in 6th place.
What a discouraging flop there for the Canadian. Kyle, 5 on the turn, doesn't help him.
Well, we are down to the river card. Zach only has to dodge a king to take this pot down, and he does it as a 3 of spades comes off. So that's going to do it for the young Canadian, Kyle Wilson. He goes out in 6th place.
Yep, he's going to pick up $176,000. He's a good sport, and just like that, we are down to 5.
Yeah, of course. He's got so much money invested. That's why he's so
Tough luck for Kyle Wilson there, knocked out with the 2 kings. Vince, sometimes it pays to be pot committed.
Yes, it does, and we have our first dead man walking here in La La Land. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action on the World Poker Tour.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Up a paycheck, and here we go again. Paul Smith quickly folding his hand, and now John, the Razor fan, has picked up another pair of jacks.
Can't do a lot about that one.
Not really.
It was standard from everyone.
You're halfway in there already. You can fold now.
I was just making sure because I was on TV. I snapped that off any other time.
Nice hand. The fish hooks, they're called. You'd like to get a few fish on the line here. Let's see if he can do it. He's going to bet $145,000.
145, kid.
All right, into Zack Clark, who's got a nothing 10-5. Folds it.
Mikey Nguyen going out.
Now Amit, oh, look at this. He's got the mother of all poker hands, pair of
145,
aces.
He's picked him up in the big blind, exactly where you like to have him. Amit Makhija, an online poker legend. At 23 years of age, he has made a huge name for himself. And look at this, Vince. He is just calling, not raising. In my mind, that's a play that only about 2% of the players would make. Shows me they're not afraid to play a flop and play after the flop. And here he checks when it comes king 10 deuce with 2 clubs.
Yes, he does. Now, Johnny Phan may be a little nervous. He also checks with the king out there. Here comes the turn card, 4 clubs.
Amazing to me, John checked that flop. I smell something fishy here.
Amit now with the cinch flush draw and the aces is going to bet $230,000.
Amit in about as good a shape as you can be in. He's got the overpair and a higher flush draw. Here he's bet $230,000.
Maybe that check before is going to seduce John Phan into calling this.
I bet you notice John's sipping that champagne a little faster now here.
Bottoms up.
Well, he could be bottomed out of here if he's not careful.
Look at the Razor, very casual.
Well, Vince, I think it's tough to lay this hand down the way the hand was played. He's going to make the call.
Yes, yes. And that is a champagne splash right there.
Well, he continues to take swallows here, and you can't blame him. Big pot brewing right now between the chip leader and John Phan.
He's not going to like it. A 6 of diamonds on the river, helping neither player.
Action back on Amit. See how much he's going to bet this time.
500.
Going to bet $500,000.
I call.
Quickly called by John Phan.
Aces.
So Amit is going to take down a pot of over $1.8 million here to increase his chip lead. Oh boy, he better reload on the champagne. Gonna need another glass after that one.
There's just nothing worse than when you're at a poker table and you're enjoying a beverage, an alcoholic beverage perhaps, and you go broke. Oh, it's just not fun.
Well, Amit Makhija, the chip leader, taking down a nice pot off John Phan there with the 2 aces.
Yeah, the Razor definitely cuts himself shaving there just a bit, and he's taking it back. Stay with us. 5 players remain here on the World Poker Tour. Going after a first-place prize of over $1.1 million.
Current chip leader is 23-year-old Amit Makhija. He's got over $5 million in chips. Second place, 23-year-old Zack Clark with $2.7 million in chips. And another 23-year-old Mikey Nguyen on the short stack right now. And he looks down and finds a pair of 6s here, Vince.
Yeah.
All right, I'm all in.
All in.
Well, here goes Mikey. He's going all in.
Mikey, get out.
There you
Yeah.
go. And I think this is the right play with his hand in this situation.
Right behind him, Amit with ace king.
I call.
He's made the call.
Well, he is going to make the call with Big Slick. Chip leader, big hand.
Paul Smith out. John Phan with ace five of diamonds. No, he won't play. Zach also out.
What do you got?
So they turn him up.
Well, we have the race situation, the under pair versus the two over cards. For Mikey Nguyen to stay alive in this tournament, he's got to have the 2 6s stand up.
Mikey's mom, Tina, and Aunt Diana in the crowd, rooting him on.
Well, we know Mikey's a big local favorite here. Plays poker in LA all the time. Got a big rooting section. Can he get lucky and stay alive in this tournament?
Just put 2 6 up there.
Here's the flop.
Everybody on their feet. Flop comes Jack 10 deuce. So far, so good for Mikey. Right now, he's just got to dodge an ace, king, or a queen.
I run pretty good. I'm sorry in advance, Mike.
All right, the turn card coming up.
Well, the board pairs 10s. Now, this gives Amit a few more outs. A jack would now win the pot for him as well. So, Amit looking for an ace, a king, a queen, or a jack. Mikey looking for everything else.
Mikey's life on the line, coming down to the last card.
All he's got to do is dodge a big card. And a 6 comes off. He's made 6s full of 10s. So the local favorite, Mikey Nguyen, staying alive.
Oh, we got one. Oh, we got a 6.
That's one happy camper right there.
So Mikey Nguyen doubling up there to stay alive, takes the 2 6s and makes them stand up, Vince.
That's it, Mikey.
There, I gave you your double up. Now, I'm gonna try to pick it back though.
Let's not. I told myself I'm not going to give you any more chips.
Well, Mikey having quite a time this week. This is the first WPT event that he's played in. His first $10,000 buy-in event. He's normally a cash game, no limit hold'em player, but his friends told him he should try this tournament. He's done it, and look at him at the final
Back to
table.
this.
All right, on to the next hand.
Back on the
Amit
train,
this
John.
time getting the pair of 6s.
Incredibly, that's the hand he just got burnt by. He's going to try to get his money back by playing him here. Comes in for $150,000.
The lawyer, Paul Smith, folding. John Phan also going out.
Round to Zack Clark, tough 23-year-old, the nephew of the late, great Chip Reese. He's out.
Play a flop now, Mikey.
And now Mikey with a pretty
flop?
good king, queen of hearts.
You want me to play a flop?
I could go either way, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you can fold, you can play a flop.
All right, let's play a flop.
Very
All right.
congenial play here.
Much more.
This is the Mikey I know. The one
He wants
defends-
me to play a flop, right? I'll play a flop.
And get the man his wish.
Give him his wish.
He's so nice.
So Mikey with the king, queen of hearts. Amit with the 2 6s.
He's so generous.
A lot of talk between these two guys. Here's our flop.
Now flop comes 7, 7 deuce. Nice flop for Amit. He's out in front with 2 pair. Action on Mikey. Vince, look at this. Mikey is reaching
300.
for chips. He is betting 300,000.
With absolute zip and pip here.
Well, in my mind, this play is not going to fool an experienced pro and top-notch player like Amit. You're never going to put your opponent on an overpair in this situation, Vince, because he would have raised you back before the flop. That didn't happen. You have to think your 6s are good here. If he'd have had 3 7s, he would check in hopes that you bet so he could raise you. This play not fooling Amit at all. He makes the call for
Yes, he
300,000.
does.
And the 4 clubs comes off. A mild scare card for Amit in that there's a possible flush on the board now.
Well, yeah. Mikey could have been playing the 4 flush and just hit there. And he's going to try to pretend like that's what he has because he's putting it all in.
There you go. Mikey not fooling around. He has moved all in. Well, let's see how great Amit really is. Will he decipher all this?
About 850,000. About 850.
He's one of the best in the business.
45.
The local Mikey has to sweat this. Can he chase away the online professional Amit, our chip leader?
I call.
He's made the
time.
call.
He's doing it.
He's done it. Well, there you go. Amit's made a great call here. Well, folks, now you get a glimpse of why this guy is considered such a great player. Amit makes that call with just 2 sixes. He is well out front because he has the flush draw. So Mikey can't even win the pot with a king or queen of clubs.
He needs the suck out, otherwise he'll be our 5th place finisher. Amit up on his feet, Mikey going back to the family. Here we go.
And a 5 of clubs comes off. Amit has made a flush, and that is going to do it for Mikey Nguyen. And Vince, in my mind, that was just lack of experience. He made the wrong move at the wrong time.
Well, that is a great call by Amit. He extends the chip lead. Have to say goodbye to Mikey, but stay tuned. We have 4 players remaining on the World Poker Tour, and we're coming right back. Quick action here. Zack and Amit out, and Paul Smith with ace-7 of spades has gone all in. Right behind him, John Phan has picked up a pair of 8s.
Count that down, please.
Well, both these guys have about the same amount of chips. So essentially, if John makes this call, their tournament lives will be on the line.
How much does it have, Ron?
1,135,000 it looks like.
And John wanting a chip count here. John, a very deliberate player, frustrates a lot of players because he takes so much time on every decision.
Yes, he does. This is a big decision.
It is, Vince, but tough to lay down 2 8s in this spot, I think.
Well, it's 1.2 million.
Call for a clock.
Ooh.
Well, Paul has called the clock on John Phan. When a guy calls a clock on somebody, that means that opponent has 1 minute to act on their hand. If they don't act in that minute's time, their hand is automatically folded. You saw tournament director Ron Kramer putting the clock on.
Well, Mike, what's interesting, this is an obvious tell. If Paul had aces, kings, or queens, he would never say a clock. You want the guy to have breathing room and to take his time. This shows that he's not that strong, in my opinion.
I call.
John has picked up on it. He's made the call.
Well, I agree, and John agrees with you too, Vince. He's made the call. You just never think a guy would have aces, kings, or queens that would call the clock on you.
No, he wouldn't.
And so right now, John Phan out in front with the 2 8s. He's up against an ace-7. As the cards lie, he's about a 2-to-1 favorite to win this pot and eliminate Paul Smith from this tournament.
So far, the part-time lawyer has just hit himself with a gavel.
Nice slow roll, huh?
Well, it is not over.
No.
Certainly Paul can get lucky and win the pot, but right now, John Phan in great shape to double up.
Here's the flop.
Deuce 4.
Oh,
Well,
my
it's
gosh.
come 2 7s on the flop. John dumps the drink on the floor as it comes 9-7-7. Paul Smith has made 3 7s on the flop. He's hit the slot machine to take the lead.
It was just a scary flop there for the lawyer.
John is going to have to catch an 8 or hit 2 winning cards to make it straight. Otherwise, he is going to be crippled. Tough luck for John Phan, at least on the flop. 2 more cards to come.
Hey!
Well, a 10 comes off. Now, that's a good card for John, and he has an open-end straight draw now.
Uh-oh.
A 6 or a jack will win it for him as well as an 8. Well, the crowd rooting for a jack, a 6, or an 8. That's what it's going to take for John Phan to win this pot. Can he get lucky here?
Paul Smith has got to sweat this last card. What will it be?
The 6! Wow! John the Razor Phan has finally got some luck at a final table. He's backdoored a straight. He is going to win this pot. Paul Smith is going to be our 4th place finisher.
Paul Smith is going to pick up $246,000 and probably an ulcer. He'd like to shake hands with the Razor, but the Razor fan away from the table.
John is notorious. I knew that he had a fairly easy decision, but because of the way he acts at the table, and even if he makes up his mind, he'll still sit there for 5 or 10 minutes. So I've never called the clock in the history of my poker playing, and that's the first time, and it definitely, I feel it was appropriate time to call the clock. But everybody else at the table is fantastic, and I really enjoyed playing with them, and they're all great.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
One of these 3 remaining players.
And for the first time tonight, we have a new chip leader. That's John the Razor Phan with about 4.8 million in chips. Amit Makhija now in 2nd place with 4.4 million. Zack Clark still in 3rd with about 1.9.
Down to the felt we go once again. It's on Amit. He's got an ace-6 of clubs.
And Vince, even though he's lost a couple big pots here. He is maintaining his composure and cool. You got to admire him for that.
Yes, you do. He's getting chips out with the button, putting them in.
He just limps in on the button here.
Yeah, not going to raise.
Going to call the 100,000. Here, John Phan's got a deuce 4 offsuit. It's going to cost him another 50,000 to make this call, but a lot of money in the pot here, nearly 300,000.
Well, John Phan, we all know him as a great poker player, but he also does something else that's great.
Well, you're right, Vince. He's a humanitarian. He gives about 20% of what he wins out here in the World Poker Tour to friends and family back in Vietnam. Very nice gesture.
That is true.
And he's going to make the call.
And now Zack Clark.
He looks down at a king deuce.
Tell him.
Now Zack saw both opponents limp in.
I'm all in.
And goes all in here. He could have taken a free flop, but he moves all in. He just doesn't think these guys are that strong, Vince. He's going to try to pick up the pot right here without seeing a flop.
Well, he sees a little extra dead money out there. Johnny Phan not coming over the top, so he figures it's a good one to steal.
I call.
Whoa, Amit's called this.
Nice call.
Well, John Phan has also gone out, of course.
Well, an amazing call by Amit to make a call like this for $1.8-something million with just an ace-6 is not easy to do, yet he's done it and has the best hand.
Whatever happens, happens. I'm happy with everything I've done at this pound table.
Now let's see if the ace-high holds up. If it does, we'll be down to heads-up poker. You know, it looks like Zack's timing was off in this pot, but in truth, he made a nice play, Vince.
Yeah,
it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
He thought he could take the pot away by moving all in. He got called. Now he has to get lucky to stay alive.
Well, the flops come up 10-7-5. No help for Zack Clark.
Zack is going to have to catch a king or a deuce to stay alive in this tournament. You know, he's lecturing himself a little bit about why did I move in right there, but...
Whatever happens, buddy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Great playing with you.
Well, an ace comes up, so that makes things moot. Zack Clark has no card he can catch at the river to win this pot. He is going to be flatlined out of here in third place.
Yeah, they have cracked the Zack, a third-place finisher, $281,000 richer. A big effort by him, and just like that, we're down to two players. Heads up at the Legends of Poker.
You ever been heads up in a WPT, kid?
First time for everything. First time as I come.
We are back here on the World Poker Tour. The heads-up action continues at the Legends of Poker. John Phan, the Razor, is our chip leader with $7.9 million.
And Vince, this is turning into being one of the epic heads-up battles on the World Poker Tour. Both of these guys seemingly fighting for every single pot. That's the mark of a great heads-up battle.
Amit now with a 9-6. Has raised with his junk hand, makes it 320 to go. And the Razor has a king 7 of clubs. What's he going to do?
Well, he's got 160,000 in the pot. Only going to cost him another 160 to see the flop. Most people would, especially if you're sitting on nearly 8 million in chips. And John has made the call. So here we go. Well, flop comes king 7-4. Amit has flopped a flush draw. John Phan has flopped the top 2 pair. Buckle up, folks. I believe you're going to see some fireworks here, especially if Amit leads out in bets, and that's what he's done.
Trying to check to him.
He's betting 380,000.
$800.
Well, John with top 2 pairs is going to come over the top. He makes it 800,000 to go. Amit with the flush draw.
I'm all in.
I call.
He's going all in, and he's quickly called by John.
Yeah, this could be it.
Flush draw.
So once again, the crown could be on the head of John Phan after this pot if his hand stands up. He's got kings and 7s. He's up against a flush draw. He's got to dodge a spade.
One time.
As the cards lie, John Phan about a 2-1 favorite to win this pot and take down this title right here. Amit needs to catch a spade or 2 running cards to make a straight. Otherwise, John Phan will be our champion.
Put it on the turn and the sweat.
7 hard.
Well, the 10 of clubs comes off.
4 hard.
Well, that does give Amit a straight draw, and 8 would give him a straight. So Amit looking for a spade or an 8. If John Phan can hold him off, he'll capture his first WPT title.
And 1 card away from winning $1.1 million. Here it is.
Amit needs a spade or an 8. Can he get it? He does get it. He's made the straight. He's backdoored a straight to win this pot. Unbelievable. Another dagger in the heart for John Phan.
You still got this, kids?
Oh, unbelievable.
Well, Vince,
I got it.
again, Amit hitting lightning on the river to stay alive in this tournament.
Oh, man.
And you just have to wonder how much pain one guy can take, Vince.
Abominable beat there for John the Razor Phan as he takes it, sits down in mourning.
Oh, Vince, let me tell you something. The Chicago Cub fans haven't taken this much pain in the last 100 years as John Phan has taken in these last 2 WPT events.
You're right, and with that, the antes are going up to 30,000. The blinds going up to 1 in 200,000. Let's get back to play. Amit now in the chip lead with about 6.4 million. John Phan with about 4.7 million.
This time Amit looks down at another nice hand, King Jack of clubs, but just limps in on the button with it. And Vince, I think this is a pattern of his. The stronger his hands, the more he tends to limp on the button. He raises with the garbage hands. Let's see if that continues. Well, John with the Jack-9 says, okay, give us a flop. Now that flop, no help to either player. John is reaching for chips, and he is going to bet here, Vince. You know what's going through Amit's mind. Why is this guy leading out here? I know he doesn't have an ace in his hand. He didn't raise me before the flop. Now maybe he's got some of that junk on the bottom, but if he had a lot of it, wouldn't he check to me? Something fishy about this. He's going to call him with king high, Vince. Poker instincts at its finest, folks. You're looking at it right here, right now. And now the king of hearts comes off.
Catches his card. Nicely done, Amit.
Well, this gives John a flush draw, however. He does have the 9 of hearts in his hand. Amit has 2 kings.
But John Phan not going to slow down. Makes a $500,000 bet.
You wonder, Vince, this is part steam, what this is. But he's betting $500,000 right here. Amit's going to call him. Amit just feels like he's got the best hand, and in fact, he does.
River card coming up. What's going to happen?
Oh, the ace of hearts comes off. So there's 4 hearts on the board. John Phan has made a flush. Now, yes, there's a pair out there. There could be a full house. There could be a bigger flush. But when you've been stealing all the way since the flop and then you make a flush on the river, do you make a value bet, Vince?
We will see. John Phan figuring it all out.
Well, he went from stealing to really having something now. Looks like a pretty healthy bet, Vince. Looks like 950,000 is what he's going to bet here.
Yep.
Now Amit stands up. He hadn't believed him since the get-go.
I call.
Instincts were right on the flop. They were right on the turn. However, they've gone awry here as he makes the call. John Phan is going to win this pot with a flush. And even though Amit lost that pot, Vince, you got to admire his poker instincts. He was right on track. He had John Phan right in his sights, but he got away just like a deer in the woods. And Vince, with it, once again, we have a new chip leader in this heads-up battle. Incredible.
Yes, we do. John the Razor Phan, our new chip leader, back out in front again.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
On the Razor Phan, going after his first WPT title. He's out in front with 7.1 million in chips.
But Vince, he's had a tough time closing the deal. Had his opponent all in twice with 1 card to go. Couldn't hold him off, and we're still battling here.
Up against the 23-year-old Amit. Amit's turn to act here. He has an 8-5 of diamonds. He's just called it. And John the Razor with a queen jack.
Let's see what he's going to do. He says, okay, give us a flop here.
No raise there. 5 cards to come. Here we go.
Now flop comes Jack 3 deuce. John Phan has flopped top pair. He's going to check. And generally speaking, when you check to Amit, he bets, and that's exactly what's happening here, even though he has absolutely nothing, an 8 high. He's going to bet $250,000.
John Phan splashing chips in. He's made this call.
Wow, just pitching him out there like he's, oh, I hate to call this. Well, now a 5 comes off. Now that gives Amit 2 5s, so he has second pair. John Phan has top pair.
Action on John Phan, though.
500.
Well, he's going to lead out and bet 500,000 here, Vince. And Amit's not going to believe he's got a straight here, Vince. Probably not putting him on 2 jacks because he didn't raise on the flop. So he makes the call. Oh, and now another jack comes off. Just a beautiful card for John Phan, not only because it gives him 3 jacks, because if his opponent's got a 5, he may get paid off here.
No hesitation. John the Razor Fan putting in $1.5 million.
Well, it is indeed a very healthy bet here.
Trying to make it look like a bluff.
Amit could think his 2 5s are the best hand because of the camouflage play that John Phan made by not raising on the flop when he hit top pair.
Call.
He's getting paid off here.
And Amit really thought he was going to win that pot. Thought he made a great call. He was dead wrong.
John Phan, however, taking down a nice pot, nearly $5 million.
Nice hand, John.
Yeah, and Amit just misjudging that hand completely. Absolutely fooled by the razor. Has to pay him off.
Well, John camouflaged his hand beautifully by not raising on the flop after flopping top pair.
Oh, deception is key in poker. Back to the green felt. Amit now.
All in.
Boiling a little bit over. He has ace-8, says all in with his short stack. And John Phan with an ace-deuce.
99.9.
Well, when he says that, means he's probably going to play. He can well afford to make this call. He's got over $9.8 million in chips.
I call.
Yep, he does make the call.
No, you got me beat. Come on, give me a deuce.
But
Give me
he
a
is
deuce.
out-pipped, as we say. This time, Amit with the best hand. He's got ace-8 up against ace-deuce. So once again, Amit in great shape to double up here and stay alive.
He certainly is. Here we go with the first 3.
Well, the flop comes king, king, 10. Now, if a 10 would come off, they would split this pot.
Deuce or jack. Deuce, jack.
Well, the 8 of clubs comes off.
It's a club. It's a club. Why wouldn't it be a club?
So John Phan now has a nut flush draw in clubs. He catches a club, he'll win it. They'll split the pot if a 10 comes off or an ace comes off.
River card coming up the title on the line.
Well, it's a 4 of diamonds. So once again, Amit heading back to his chair to continue play.
Not a suck out this time. Amit taking down the pot.
It's been a long heads-up match, my friend.
Good. No matter what happens, good.
It's been fun, right?
Welcome back to Los Angeles for the Legends of Poker. Heads-up action continues here, where the winner's going to take home over $1.1 million. And right now, John the Razor Fan out in front with close to $8 million.
Well, Amit looks down at a king, 10 of spade on the button. Pretty good hand.
He's got about $3.2 million to start.
And he's going to raise it here, make it $400,000 to go.
Got a good starting hand. Why not?
Well, it's just a $200,000 raise here, which means there's $660,000 in the pot. It only cost John another $200,000 to make the call. So when you've got chips and a Jack-7 offsuit, getting that kind of price, what do? You call. The flop comes ace, 7, 6. John has flopped second pair. He checks.
Yep, he's got a piece of that. Nothing materializing for Amit.
And Amit checks right behind him. And now a jack comes off.
Whew.
John Phan has made 2 pair, jacks and 7s.
What a thing of beauty.
Amit now has a gut shot straight draw. Queen would give him an ace high straight. Well, John's going to check. He is hoping that Amit's going to make a stab at this pot right here, but no, Amit checks right behind him. Well, a king comes off. There's 3 hearts out there. Possible flush, possible straight. But if you're sitting in John Phan's seat, you have to believe with all your heart that 2 pair is the best hand here. And John is going to bet $500,000.
I don't think you have an ace. I call.
Well, Amit is right. John doesn't have an ace. Unfortunately for him, he's got 2 pair, though.
Yeah, you hate to be right and still lose. And that's exactly what just happened.
So John Phan taking that pot down with 2 pair to get that much closer to the finish line.
How do you always have it, kid? It's pretty sick.
And you notice Amit, it always almost looks like he's absolutely shocked when he loses a pot. Very confident player.
I had a big king. I thought you could be value betting worse.
Now the antes are going up to 40,000 blinds, 150 and 300.
All in.
Amit on the short stack is going all in with his king 7 of diamonds.
About $2 million worth with the king 7 of diamonds. John Phan looks down at a pair of 3s. And Vance, this is the kind of hand that I think you have to go with here. And I say that because your opponent doesn't figure to have a pair. Yes, he's going to have 2 overcards. You got the chip lead. And he is going to go for it right here. If the 2-3 stand up, he's going to be our champion. If not, we'll continue to battle. For the 3rd time, John Phan has had his opponent all in here with the best hand. Will it stand up now?
Well, it's a race situation. John Phan taking money into his pocket. A little prematurely, perhaps.
Well, there you see John's family rooting him on.
Here comes our flop.
Yeah, the flop comes queen 5-5.
It's always interesting, right? Only 10
So
outs.
Amit can now win the pot with a queen as well as a king or a 7.
Whatever happens.
Doesn't matter, man. It was a great match. I mean, it was just sick. There's so many all-ins.
2 good sports as they stand and wait destiny. 4th Street coming up.
Well, an ace comes off. That gives a few more outs for Amit to win this pot. He can now win with an ace, king, or a 7. They'll split the pot if a queen comes off. John Phan, one more time, 1 card away from taking down this title.
A huge championship at stake for Johnny Phan. Can he stay lucky? Here's the river.
He's done it. John Phan has done it. He has finally captured this title in an epic battle here at the Legends of Poker. But what a battle it was, Vance.
John Phan, the Razor, finally taking a WPT title. He's our champion.